Welcome to the Rebel Love Show. We are a once a week broadcast from Manchester, New Hampshire, where we are pro pot, pro gun, and pro coffee. You can find all of our contents at rebelloveshow.com. I am Ron Matthias.
And I am the Rebel Mistress.
And we are back from our last week hiatus from our new movers party that we went to.
Yes.
So we're back on the airwaves tonight.
I love new movers parties. It's like very refreshing to get to meet people who moved.
There's
they're all fresh faced.
There's at least 10, 12 new people there, I think, something along those lines.
And everyone's really sweet.
Yeah.
I think we met a girl from Albania.
Yeah, there's a whole I think it was like a family.
Yeah.
One of them the husband's from Connecticut, but the rest are from Albania.
And there was a guy who was like British. It was a lot of new people there. I like that. I love seeing new people at these things. Like, it's great.
Well, the cool thing with like the new movers parties is that allows everyone to get to know the people that just moved, which is really crazy because I met at my day job. I met a couple new movers, like just helping them, and then they're supposed to be at the new movers party, and I didn't even run into them.
Oh,
which is kind of weird. I actually met them in my normal day-to-day life than actually at that location.
That sucks.
Yeah.
All new movers should go to new movers parties.
Well, people should go to that regardless if they're a new mover.
Well,
I mean, it's a good way just to make connections in the community.
Very true.
Yeah. So we took it out for that, and what else happened? Well, first off, before we even go into that, we should talk about our contest.
Oh yes, our selfie contest is still going strong. New Hampshire Hemp Fest. So far we've gotten a few submissions, so you still have time. Send us all your selfies. Send us your selfies. That's way you could win. And just some new information because we keep learning new things as well. The camping situation is apparently, first come, first serve. It's included with the ticket.
Yeah, that's badass. It's so badass that you don't have to pay for the camping.
Badass. So just send us a selfie of you being pro pot, pro gun, and pro coffee, and you could win your very own free ticket to Hempfest. Free camping. Only thing you have to bring is food and money for drugs. That's it.
Yeah, or barter for drugs for that matter.
Even better.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're waiting for. You can send those to rebelloveshow@gmail.com.
Oh, this is the last time we're gonna be able to hear it because we announced August 15th. We're announcing the winners.
Yeah, August 15th.
It's so if you're listening now, you better get them in because
it's gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be an amazing time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I never really
shout out to Shad and Deidre for their engagement.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that's gonna be like another party. We get to celebrate
check out his dome.
Their engagement.
Well, if you want to know what his dome looks like, go check out rebelloveshow.com because I did I put up a walkthrough of PorkFest.
Oh yeah. I really enjoyed that walkthrough.
No, one thing I
felt like it was like very great quality, and it was from your phone.
I know, yeah. So I used a Bluetooth monopod, a selfie stick, for my Galaxy S6 because my Galaxy S6 takes like amazing video for me. I mean, for a cell phone, it's not like a GoPro quality, but it's pretty damn close. And we started from our campsite, which is it kind of sucked. It was at the end of the campground. But we made our way through the campsite. We went up. We hit the Shad Sex Dome and made our way through Agora Valley. Came up to the main field where everyone's getting together for the group shot. So that literally the walkthrough ends with like 1,500, libertarians and anarchists taking a group photo or waiting to be droned, one or the other.
Or waiting to be droned. And that was a possibility at that point. It was beautiful. It really took me back. I'm so glad all these videos are coming out of PorkFest. It was a great time in my life.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you're wanting the Big Gay Dance Party videos to come out.
You know what? Bring it on. Whatever. Especially with all this free the nipple stuff going on. I am a free the nipple activist. I am claiming it. Like, let it come out.
You're not just
my nipples are. They're nothing to be ashamed of.
You're not just a free the nipple activist. You live that life.
Yeah, I'm about that life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it at Hampton Beach too. I'm gonna free the nipple and get like national coverage.
Well, so do you think your nipples are gonna get covered in more like national media than it
Oh,
already has?
of course. My nipples are gonna be the talk of the century.
I mean, they've already been
I
discussed.
do have really good nipples. I mean, several articles have
I
been
know. Vice covered it. Maxim covered it.
well, I think it's very inspirational, and I love the video that is that out? Is that like public?
Which video?
The video of the Free the Nipple campaign.
Oh, that Bo did? Yeah. That's out. That's out and about.
Okay, yeah, you guys gotta go find that.
We'll
I
have
don't
it
know
in the
what it's
show
called.
notes if I
Yeah, we'll
remember.
put it
Like
in
I
the
have the
show
link
notes,
right here.
but
So
it's really great. It's very
I'll
inspirational. Rob had a few knows about it, about the organization
oh
of it.
yeah. So well, right now, if you go to rebelloveshow.com and click on live, you can watch us live, and we have the LRN chat built into the website, so you can actually chat on the same while you watch us. And I just threw in the link the video for the upcoming free the nipple campaign. But no, I had some issues with it. Uh, I love the idea of it, and there's actually they have like 1,000 some people signed up for it as of right now. Well, yeah, they have 1K going, 258 maybes. Now, mind you, anyone that's saying, "Oh, create female nudity," that's fantastic. But in the grand scheme of things, I probably will have like 100, hopefully, if not more. I would love to see like 500. But my thing with it was there's no I know it's all like spontaneous order, blah blah blah, and like just everyone live this so to make it commonplace. But it's not commonplace yet, and something like this, where even though it's not illegal to my knowledge in New Hampshire, just doing that, you should do it in a group of people, so like no one can just be surrounded by the police or whatnot and be separated from by themselves. Like you're gonna do activism, you should do it with a group of people. I know this is a group function, but there's no like meetup spot. Like, let's meet at this point at the beach, and then like we'll go from there and like start walking around. Like, there's no like, it's just everyone start doing it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be very interested to see it. So I gotta go check it out. Maybe it'll be a shit show. Maybe it'll be awesome.
So, are you gonna go topless there?
I'll decide when I get there. Like most things, like most bad decisions. I'll just wait till I get there and make a choice.
Well, you may be the reason why they outlaw it if you go there, babe.
Yeah, that's
Your
true.
nipples may cause so much anguish
Chaos.
and chaos and horror to like the conservative people out there that they'll find a reason to ban it.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin their cause. But anyway, other than that, what else was there? The MVP meetup, Maverick Valley Porcupine,
Mer Merrimack
Merrimack
Valley
Valley.
Porcupine meeting. Yeah. No, that
Okay.
was back on that was the first Saturday this month, which we haven't done an episode since then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love going to Area 23, which is a private. It's a bar
Mhm.
in
Yeah, they're
Concord.
legit. They're not like a
Yeah.
underground
They're a bar
thing.
in Concord. They're public. Really great food, great beer.
Yeah, the food there is fantastic.
It's awesome. They do Cards Against Humanity like every Wednesday night or something. You can check them out at the Area
TheArea23.com.
23.
Yeah, it's a
Yep.
porcupine-owned bar up in Concord that just opened recently. Though I really miss the old Area 23 that predates your time here in the Shire, but I really have fond memories of the old Area 23.
Well, I like this one because we can go there for Church of the Sword, and you get to drink at 10 a.m. And it's like this is what I always wanted out of church, like a bar.
Well, the church is at a bar.
Exactly, and they
Yeah.
serve you alcohol at 10 a.m. It's great.
That's how every church should be. Anyways, when we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit of polyamory, just like how we always do. How you feeling, baby doll? You're doing good. You're a little tired on the show, but you're hanging in there. I'm worried.
She did all right, man.
Hey. You can can do this, babe. I believe
Babe,
in you.
I did a good job. Fuck you.
What?
Forget you. I can pass out and do it at
Uh-oh.
the same time. I went to college. I can pretend to be.
So, Daniel, do you want to jump on as the
Chat guy.
as a chat guy?
Sure,
Are you
what
in
do
the
I-
chat?
Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah, I'm on it right now.
Talk about how.
Who are you in the chat?
I'm the other guy.
The other guy?
Yeah, because I have a feeling people are going to say, "Who's the other guy?" Say me. So just pop in and be like, "Oh wow." No.
Yeah, Webkeys, I'm doing my show.
So is this? This is live on YouTube right now, right?
Yeah. Actually, loud. Yeah, this is loud. Live on YouTube right now. You know, my rebel mistress here is passed out. Your mic's live, by the way.
This mic's live.
Yeah, you're
Awesome.
on YouTube. You're not on the radio though. You're on YouTube.
All right.
So I'm gonna. I think they can see it from there. I haven't used Twitter in such a long time. I used to use Twitter all the time.
You know, if it weren't for Twitter, I never would have found out about Free Talk Live. And Free Talk Live is really what changed me over from a libertarian to an anarchist. So, in a way, Twitter is like the reason why I'm here. It's a weird story, but
You found Free Talk Live via Twitter?
yeah, because what had happened was I had followed the Free State Project before I moved up here. And sure enough, like they had posted, check out this awesome podcast about liberty. So, you know, I just kind of clicked on it. And then from there, I became an FTL fan, and the rest is history. Yeah. So if it weren't for
It sounds
Twitter,
like the exact commercial that's playing.
oh
in the
no.
background, 'cause you can hear it.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Oh, that is funny.
That's hilarious.
Uh,
We're making a new commercial for LRN.
oh yeah. How did that go?
We sent the wrong length, so we have to redo it. And I was gonna do it today, but I decided to eat an edible and take a nap after that.
It seems like Anne did that too, except she's just now taking a nap.
They were coming back in a second, I think.
Later, Hoffman.
I can hear you now. Who's David Hoffman? I don't know who that is.
I like the name Hoffman.
What's so likable about Hoffman?
I don't know. It just.
I don't have a show clock.
Yes, you do.
No, it's on the website, but I don't have it on here. Welcome back to the Rebel Love Show. And before we go into our kind of subject we're going to be talking about in a second, just want to throw out that Danny here is in the Flaming Freedom Studios. He's paying attention to the chat on rebelloveshow.com on click on live. So if you have any questions for us in the chat, hit up Daniel. He is the other guy in there. Hit him up, and
I am the other guy.
Yeah, he's the other guy. And we'll be responding to the people in the chats, well, most likely, unless we really don't like you, which could be happening.
We like everyone.
I know we love everyone in the chat. I'm hating on purpose, but
well, you didn't even go before we leave about Area 23 and
Oh,
the
yeah.
new movers party. No, what was it? The
The MVP
Mav
meeting.
MVP meeting. I don't know what that's all about. I think I've been to two. All the
Well,
new movers come together and they give you gifts.
the
What happens?
Merrimack Valley Porcupines meeting is the longest running liberty oriented meetup in New Hampshire that's been going on now for over 10 years. They have a meeting the first Tuesday of every month. It's moved from multiple places. It's been at the Quill, it's been at the old Area 23, now the new Area 23. They've done it at multiple different restaurants. Murphy's, it used to have it for a couple times. I think the first one you went to was at Murphy's.
Okay.
And a lot of new movers are encouraged to go to those meetings because it's a good way for them to network with people that are already living here.
Yeah, and they
It
also give you little trinkets, which is really nice. Like they give you like a starter kit, welcome to the Free State Project, a bumper sticker. It's really cute.
Yeah, they give you a welcome home bag. So it actually it's usually like a Pork Fest bag with like a T-shirt, some beers, some lit, and some other stuff. Like basically like a welcome home bag. I got one when I went to MVP meeting the very first week I was here.
So,
I got
and
one.
you actually did a pitch. You were working while you were there
Mhm.
because you're, the big shot board member for the Foundation for New Hampshire Independence.
I
And
don't
what
know.
was your little spiel about it?
Well, I did a basically I use the advantage of the fact that with my day job I rarely ever have a Saturday off, and I actually got a Saturday off. And I've only been to 3 MVP meetings since I've been here, so it's not like I go to a lot of them at all. It's only the third one I've even been to.
Yeah.
So I want to take advantage of it. A lot of times at MVP meetings, they have sometimes it's way too politico for me. Um, and I wanted to like talk about like other activism that's going on that's not really politico. So
Uh-huh.
like I'm following all like the Rand Paul people and like all the libertarian Republicans and the AFP people, and I go up there talking about the Foundation for New Hampshire Independence. So I'm kind of giving like a sit rep, a status update on activism that we've been doing. How we had 2 successful outreach events during the 4th of July, where we actually got to talk to presidential candidates and the governor. We got to talk to the governor. Stuff like that, and also is sort of a sales pitch because we are a nonprofit charity, and we're also kind of a think tank. And the big thing that we do is try to promote independence for New Hampshire from the union as much as we can. And if we can get funding to do like radio commercials, like on local AM radio, or possibly TV ads, magazine ads, Facebook ads, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That we could promote the idea of New Hampshire independence a lot easier. So kind of use that as a way to kind of pitch that. And it's talking about how we do have plans for future events, but we don't really have anything set in stone as of this
Yeah.
time. And also trying to get volunteers, because there were people there at the meeting that had volunteered for events previously, and we can always use more volunteers.
Awesome. So getting back into the nitty-gritty, this is relationship anarchy.
Yeah, the topic of the show.
Uh relationship anarchy sounds so badass. It's like very suggestive.
Well, babe, it sounds badass because the way you speak to about it into the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you give it
Okay.
that badass sound. That, and it might help the fact that you're under the weather. It makes you sound sexier.
Oh, maybe.
I hope you make it through the end of the show. I'm hoping. You got it. So,
Anyway, so we chose relationship anarchy because I think Rob was looking at the relationship
well,
bill of
yeah,
rights.
in the poly world, there's it's weird. Like they have their own like language, kind of like how Liberty people have their own language and their own like documents and whatever. And there's
You're
like
like
their own
you're
little.
speaking like it's like we're Klingons, like
Well, in each scene, there's every scene you go to, doesn't matter what it is. Like, hey, they have things that they kind of like, like so many anarchists clench um, onto Atlas Shrugged. Like how can you be an anarchist or a libertarian and not read Atlas Shrugged? Like I'm poly and I never read The Ethical Slut. I know that it's converted a lot of people, but I've actually not read it. but I know of his existence and all
Ooh,
that jazz.
maybe we should read it.
Yeah, it's actually on my list of.
So, how did you find the Relationship Bill of Rights? What were you? How did you stumble upon that?
There, one website that's very popular. It's called More Than Two. It's kind of like a resource guide for people that are poly curious or want to know more about what it's like to have relationships in a polyamorous way. It's helped me kind of like go through my thoughts and like seeing what other people have gone through. It's a good resource. I've heard on multiple podcasts, and even seeing it on that website before, and seeing it in other blog posts on the internet about this document called Relationship Bill of Rights. So basically, the Relationship Bill of Rights, which we're going to go through on this, it's basically targeted toward what you should expect in a relationship, in a poly relationship. What I found fascinating with it, like putting my volunteers goggles on, is the entire like thing just like literally bleeds the non-aggression principle. Like everything just screams like this is the nap, like but for relationships. So I kind of want to go through it and talk about how the basically why people are poly or what to expect being poly. Let's just take that one step further, like because everyone's a human being, regardless if they're between me and you, or if it's me and a group of people, or dare I say us and the state. Everyone's just human beings.
You're just gonna explain to everyone why they're in a abusive relationship with the state.
Yes. Well, some people don't know that. They don't get it. They don't understand.
That's okay.
That's the case.
We'll help them.
Okay. You can start off, babe.
Okay, so I don't know if these have a particular order. I'm not
they did.
on the website. They did.
It's in the show notes as in order.
It's in order. That's great.
Yeah, it's in order.
Okay, so I think the first one, I don't know if they're ranked in priority either, because I don't know which. You let me know which one you feel like is a priority throughout this. Okay. So the first one is to choose the level of involvement and intimacy that you want. Oh, time to go.
Well, we'll come back.
Babe,
yeah, I'll throw that back up. What? They can't see you? No. Yeah, you do sound a little sick. You sound under the weather. Well, bounce it up a little bit, babe. Bounce it up.
So, Rob, you're not Rob Rebel on here, are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, because I thought Freedom Forum in Nashua, and I was about to address that, and then I was like, wait a second. I don't even know what Freedom Forum is.
Freedom Forum in Nashua. What is Freedom Forum?
Oh, he was saying that to you. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I feel like
web keys. What is Freedom Forum? I honestly have no idea what Freedom Forum even is. You don't drink coffee anymore, do you?
I do. Not this late though.
You just drink it black?
Yeah.
Don't put like almond milk in it or anything like that?
No, I've actually converted to black. I used to have it with almond milk and like stevia, but then I don't know. I just started drinking it black.
I don't do stevia. It's not my
regular sugar then.
No, I don't do sugar.
Hmm.
I used to do almond milk or coconut milk. I'll do coconut milk at Starbucks. But I don't know. I don't do something about Dunk's coffee does not taste good with almond milk. Like I'll do cream or black, just one or the other.
So I assume you're on the side of the Dunkin' Donuts versus you're on the Dunkin' Donuts side on the Dunkin' Donuts versus Starbucks debate.
It's not a debate. It's Dunk's. Come on now.
Yeah. Well,
don't get me wrong. I like Starbucks, but Dunk's. Yeah. I love Dunk's so much that I used to love Dunk's getting Dunk's in Chicago, and it used to be right outside my apartment. I used to walk over to Dunk's to get coffee almost every day. And then when I flew here, I got off the plane, and the very first thing I saw was a Dunkin' Donuts in the terminal, and I'm like,
"Yep,
I'm home." There's a Dunk's.
See, there were like 2 Dunkin' Donuts in Oklahoma, but my ex, who was from this area, was just all about Dunkin' Donuts. And so she would always be like, anytime we went down to Oklahoma City, she would be like, we have to go buy Dunkin' Donuts. It's like not even a question. And then I come up to New England and there's like 3 Dunkin' Donuts per block. It's insane.
I love that.
Yeah. It kind of gives it. I mean, are there a ton in Chicago?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of Starbucks too. Both they're saturated with both of them. There used to be a Caribou coffee I used to go to a lot.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a Starbucks, but based. Imagine it says Seattle based. It's Alaskan based. I always forget when the. Oh, we're coming. I think we come back in 2 minutes.
Let's see.
All right, welcome back to the Rebel Love Show, and we got Daniel watching the chat. So if you want to hit us up, please do so. We'll be answering questions on air live here on Alaren.fm.
So before we left off, so the first one on the relationship bill of rights is to choose the level of involvement and intimacy you want. So that is the right that you have in a relationship. And I know we're strictly talking about polyamory, but in all relationships, I think that a lot of this stuff applies too. You get to choose how close you want to be with someone. And you get to communicate that with them. That is important. You need to know where you stand with someone. In a relationship, and it just is. What does this like mean to you? Like, how intimate do you feel like that you have to communicate with the partner right off the bat? Like,
immediately.
How, like, if a partner says, I don't want to be intimate, like, you need to know that, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm asexual. Like, that's something that needs to be communicated. But when? How far into a relationship?
How far into a relationship is that?
It needs to be
very relatively quickly. Yeah.
Has there ever been an instance where someone didn't communicate that they weren't interested in a certain kind of intimacy that you were going for?
Well, there was that one time. I mean, there was that time back in December where the rules changed, unbeknownst to me.
Yeah,
that's what you're referring to. I don't know if you're referring to that. But.
No, I'm just saying, as an example, like if something like that is to happen, it would always have to be communicated, and I think that's what I think that's a great point. Like, you always have to know where you stand with someone.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's one. See, well, I would say, like, in regards to, like, if when we're comparing this to the state, we know where we stand in regards to our relationship. The average person does not.
Yeah.
They don't realize the force and aggression that's always being threatened against them if they don't
Yeah.
follow their abusive relationship to whatever that
Yeah.
person says
It's
to
like
do.
it's like a living in a virtual, well, you're living in a reality where you're just like choosing to be ignorant of it. It's like Stockholm
Do you think you're
syndrome.
choosing to be ignorant of it, or it's just something that doesn't
Well, I
come
think
up?
you make a great point later when you say the state is just an idea.
Yeah, I don't want to jump the gun. We'll
Yeah.
get to that. It's a good part of the
Okay, so let's
relationship.
just move to the next one. To revoke consent of any form of intimacy at any time. So basically, no means no. Like, don't tread on me.
Yeah. But try telling that to a TSA agent when they're feeling your balls up while you're trying to avoid it being scanned via naked scanning machines called X-ray machines.
Have you ever said no means no when a TSA agent like went too far?
Oh, see,
that would be great. No means no. Like, you should
I'm
just
sure
start
people have
yelling
done that, and if they do, they definitely should put that on YouTube. I know there's a lot of TSA videos out there.
Wait, Daniel, what do you do?
What if he's a TSA agent?
Well, then you allow him.
Then it's fine.
Then it's okay.
I consent. No, I think that's like activism. I know people who go through the TSA line and make noises.
Well, I piss people off when I go through the TSA.
Oh my
line.
God, we're gonna be like that on our honeymoon. We're gonna
it
be
would be me if
going.
I did. So, I might just strip completely down naked in the terminal, like I got nothing, and what are you gonna do? I don't have any knives on me or anything like that. But no, I actually every time I go through the checkpoint,
maybe we should take a boat.
A vote?
A boat.
Boat? Oh. Yeah, take a yacht from New Hampshire all the way down to Belize for our honeymoon.
Yeah.
Well, if the viewers at home want to have that happen, they can send us a shit ton of Bitcoin. Then maybe we'll be able to afford that.
Oh, babe. Come on now. But anyway, so yeah, I think don't tread on me. And I think that's a great aspect of, the non-aggression principle. Like, you don't initiate force upon someone else by any means, but you have the right to protect your life, liberty, and property. Like, you do not let other people step on you in an emotional sense or in a physical sense. You have to always be strong in your emotions and say how you feel, even if it is uncomfortable.
Yeah. And even if other people won't go along with you, like you have to stand up for yourself because there's still gonna be people, even in a relationship, they're not gonna go along. You still have to stand up for who you are, regardless if it's a person relationship as a person or an idea, that being the state. So
Yeah.
to be next line in the relationship Bill of Rights is to be told the truth. Now, honesty is so important in all relationships, but constant communication is a key foundation in poly. You have to tell us everything all the time, no matter how uncontrollable it may make you. I mean, uncontrollable, uncomfortable, uncomfortable. It may make you feel. So like for us, we always have full honesty and disclosure about everything going on in our lives.
Is the government full honesty and disclosure
on
anything?
No, never. They never are. I mean, when they use violence, I suppose they're being honest.
No, they're even shading that. Like, this isn't violence. This is protecting.
This is protective services.
I'm protecting and serving the shit out of
people
you right now.
For when we choke someone in the middle of the street on camera over a cigarette tax, that's policing the hell out of you. Yeah, that's
so no, you in a relationship, you have to be honest. You have to be transparent. There cannot be any secrets. We don't keep anything from each other, and I think that is one way that poly excels is all of the communication, because you need to tell your partner when you're sleeping with someone else. You need to tell them where you're gonna be at night. Like, that may not be how much communication that a individual may be used to, and I think polyamory really helps that communication.
Well, I mean, there's so much communication in it where I don't think most people in mono relationships will ever experience the amount of communication that we have. But that's communication, like with the state. We kind of, I guess you can't make the argument that technically it's a one-way street in regard to communication because they know everything. They're always watching. Look at everything with that Snowden released. That everyone they the NSA and everything else, they're spying on everything. Every device you have, every internet connection you have.
You're saying we're just giving them all our information?
Well, yeah, we're having full honesty and disclosure because we don't have a choice in the matter. They're doing it regardless, so they have that.
That's forcefully though.
But we don't have the other way around.
And that is the point. You shouldn't have to be coerced with force. So I think the other one was to say no to requests, which I didn't really understand. I didn't understand what that one meant.
Well, I mean, basically, so that in regards to poly would be if you have other, if another partner, if you have multiple partners.
Oh, like you can say no. Like, I don't want you to see someone else.
Well, not so much that. It depends on the situation. So, like, for example, how we were in a triad, but like, say one of you didn't want to be in that, you have the right to say no. I don't want to be this other person to be in our relationship.
Okay, I got that. So in this aspect, I guess it'll be like paying taxes. Like I can't say no. I actually don't want to give you my money.
Well, you could.
Don't steal from me.
You could say no, but eventually men with guns will come to your home and kidnap you and throw you in a cage. My relationship anarchy would come back. You're doing great, babe. You're almost through. You're almost through.
Wow, it's already 10:43?
Yeah.
Damn. So is the ethical slut like the Bible of polyamory?
The ethical slut is literally Atlas Shrugged.
Of polyamory.
Of polyamory, yeah.
Okay. And yeah.
And I've never read Atlas Shrugged, yet here I am.
Neither have I. And here I am, but
I'm not an Ayn Randian. But I have been meaning to read it, though. Babe, you okay? What? So I I didn't tell you, babe.
No, you didn't tell me.
Guys, Renee.
What?
It's Renee.
It's Renee.
Is that what you didn't tell me?
Oh no. So I added one line on my OKC. And I had like an 18, 19-year-old or something like that message me within the hour. Maybe a coincidence. I don't know. And the conversations really didn't lead to much.
What did you do? What did you write?
I added just one line saying we're kink friendly and sex positive. That's it.
Hey, I thought we agreed that we write together and you don't go solo dolo.
No, we made that agreement like a day ago.
Oh, okay. When did the 18, 19-year-old?
Oh, that was like a week ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't bring it up in conversation because the conversations didn't lead to much, but there's it literally happened within later in the day after me doing that at the same time.
Does it show up as a notification, like newly updated profile?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. It's just that if you message or like someone or look at their profile, they get a notification. So they'll go look at yours, or vice versa. If they're searching, they'll look at your profile, but they'll see that. I'm just saying I made that correction, and then all of a sudden, like, I had longer conversations. Though me and Ann I told her like next time because we're still trying to find a third again, just because dating it's hard and whatnot. But we're gonna have like joint communication effort next time. It's not easy out there, man. It's hard.
Oh, I bet. I mean, especially getting a triad going, it's got to be hard.
Been done before, it can be done again.
Absolutely. I got to pay a visit to Shadrach real quick.
Go forth.
Yeah, if I open this door, it's gonna make too much noise, so I'll wait till the next.
You can. I'll just I'll have your mic muted.
Okay.
So don't worry about it. Okay.
All right. I will be right back.
Okay. That's porcupinerealestate.com.
And that was way too early, but
that was like 10, 15 seconds too early, baby.
I thought this was Seditious Sirens. I don't know why. Okay, and welcome back to the Rebel Love Show. Before we left off, we were talking about how in a relationship where you have in the relationship bill of rights, you have the right to refuse requests. You should at any time be able to say request denied, and we all know that is not the truth with the government.
Well, I know one of my favorite moments of me turning down a request by the government.
What was it?
So this is way before I even met you. Oh. This is actually like the first week. I think it was like the first week we're in the Rebel Love studio. Me and my former co-host at the time, and then a friend of ours. And I literally just bought my Sony Handycam. And all of a sudden, a government agent comes up to the door. It's a U.S. Census worker of all people.
Oh my god!
And I spent like 15 minutes telling this woman I'm not answering questions. Like this is literally all I say. I'm on camera, like I'm recording her.
I've seen this video.
Yeah. I think it has like 5,000. It's not that many views, but like I had so much fun making that video as like a libertarian, like being able to like.
You were like trolling hard.
Oh yeah.
I was like, hard. Poor lady.
Poor lady. Here's this woman coming into my home on my back door, mind you, which is the third floor balcony. It's not like it's easy to get to, and just wanting to know about all the outlets in the home and like plumbing and like
she knocked on the wrong door.
And age and
no
sex
doubt,
and
but
nationalities and all that.
I don't know. I'm just so much nicer than you, and you say I'm not the nice one. I'm so nice.
Yeah, sometimes I lose my cool with the government agents. That is true. I do that sometimes.
Okay, so I think the next one is just like hilarious. To hold and express different points of view. Okay. So in a relationship, you should be able to say, I don't look at things that way. It's okay that you do, but I look at things this way. And, that should be fine. If your partner shouldn't force you to try to change, who you are or what you think.
Uh-huh.
I think that's a very clear like example of, you can't tell the government, I hold a different point of view. I don't view you as my authority.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they're just a human being, just like anyone else. Why do we hold these views in some fashion or another that they have some sort of legitimacy over us, And I have, like I said, both me and you, we have the opinion that, government agents, people of the state, the whole notion of it is nothing more than people's ideas that it should exist.
Yeah.
And
I think, with relationships, I thought this like really reminded me of, do you or do you not date someone who has like embraced the philosophies of liberty? But because at that point, how different do you want your points of views to be? do you want someone on your same spectrum, or can you live with the fact they're not? I know it's different because it's all about force here. You don't want to force someone to see things the way you do, but do you want someone who just already does, or could you live
you have
for
to
the
have
different
common ground.
views?
You have to have common ground. And the thing is, like for people like us that where liberty is such a huge issue to us, um, it's something we're very very confident, not confident, but very supportive of. It drives us. It drives us to live free as much as we can because we know that we're free human beings. Um, the problem being is that we have that as such a huge belief that when we run into people that don't really have that as their belief, that's not driving them, it can be an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I believe what you're saying about finding someone who has common ground because, you know, I want to find someone who we could at least meet in the middle because I also feel like I don't want to impose my life onto someone. Like, you know how you once said, you don't feel like it's your job to wake people up.
Yeah, I hate waking people up.
Like, that's kind of how I feel. Like, it's not, I want someone who's there. I want someone who gets it
Well,
and.
well, babe, I can't strike, I can't hit bat 1,000, the fact that I found you and you're already like that to begin with,
Yeah, that's very true.
the odds of us finding each other the way we have and the way we are together, I'm trying to strike lightning twice, but it's gonna be a
It's
uphill battle.
I believe in us, but I don't know if other people have this problem, but I know people in different circumstances make it work all the time. It's just about, finding someone you connect with. And for us, I think that we need to connect someone with a spirit that's as free as ours. And that a lot of that has to do with embracing, I guess, the philosophy. Um what is next, Ra?
Feel to feel all your emotions,
All of the feels.
all the feels.
This, whenever I read this, I just think of people being emotionally slutty.
Also,
Okay. So, yes, you have the right to feel all of your feelings and all of your emotions. Of course. But you don't want to overshare. You don't want to overshare. You like if someone is clearly giving you an example of where you stand and there's enough communication there, um you know that should be good. You shouldn't be aggressive with your emotions all upon someone. I strongly disagree with that. Like, you should like go express your emotions, yes, but in a rational way. I feel like some people just like pour it all out, and I'm like, calm it down.
mm-hmm.
Calm it down a little. And I know it's Polly, and yeah, and people are vulnerable in that kind of situation. Like, you're trusting not only one partner but two partners with your emotions, or multiple partners, even more partners with like your feelings. Like, that's like you're stretching yourself in that. I can't imagine that you wouldn't be. Is you these are actual relationships. You have to put actual physical effort and time into those. So I mean, that can be hard.
Well, at least in that situation, though, you're putting trust with someone else that you think has trust in you. Like, you have a bond, you have a commitment to each other.
Yeah.
But
You have to just make sure everyone is on that, sees it on that level. That's why it goes back into like you have the right to know where you stand.
yeah,
You always have to be communicating. I feel like a lot of times in mono relationships that just does not happen.
no, it doesn't. Well, I mean, it doesn't some, but most it doesn't. But in regards to like, um, with the state, like if you don't want to, if you feel like this isn't you're not being treated right by this relationship, you should be able to walk away from it.
Yeah.
You can in any poly relationship. Like us, like you can always leave. I can always leave. That's never going to happen. But you know, um, you always have that. You're with each other voluntarily. Um, whenever a relationship is no longer voluntary, where it's forced or coerced, that's not really a relationship anymore. You know, that's like, well, I mean, you can say it's a relationship, but it's definitely an abusive relationship.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's where it draws the line at abuse. Okay. I think the next one is just about, communication again. Yes, communicate all your emotions, but also
where does that help with all the people that are communicating their emotions with protests and voting or whatever they're trying to do? How is that helping anyone? Doesn't help their relationship with the government. Just keeps getting worse and worse.
well, I mean, well, this is like you're fighting back.
That's true.
Yeah, you can't win them all. Like you can't bat 1,000, but you can't. You have to find some way to say, God damn it, I'm not gonna stand for it.
Yeah.
So maybe you can't necessarily get out of this abusive relationship now, but you're taking steps towards it, and you're aware. I think once you're aware that you're in an abusive relationship, like you spend all the rest of your time trying to get out of it.
What?
And I think that's why I feel like you can't go back with liberty once you've understood it fully. You can't go back.
Well, yeah, just like how you leave abusive relationship, no one ever goes back to an abusive relationship. Not usually, anyways.
Bad rack about the ticket, and I was like, "Do
Uh-huh.
you know if this counts for all 4 days?" And he's saying he doesn't think so, but I'm gonna email the dude and figure that out because that would suck to have to pay like $30 an extra person. I mean, like I'll still do it because it's Hemp Fest, but now a lot of festivals will do that.
It has the dates on there from the 27th to the 30th.
Right, and that's what I don't get. That's what I asked him. So,
I'll message the guy that we got these from.
is it Thomas? Brown?
No, Rick.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, especially since you guys are coming there.
Yeah, it's for the whole festival. I'm 99% sure.
Sweet. I'm so excited for it. Like, I'm already getting all my camping stuff together.
Oh, I'm definitely excited about it.
I mean,
Hey, babe, are you gonna do body paints at Hempfest?
if it's warm
What?
enough.
We can relive our glory days at Porkfest. Absolutely.
She
not.
says that while she's super tired.
Not a fan. So are you gonna go to Shad's honeymoon?
Where is it?
I don't know.
That's
I'm not saying the wedding or the wedding party. I'm saying the honeymoon.
I wonder. I guess I need to figure.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I forgot that we have another 6 minutes. We're good.
So, yeah, I saw something about the honeymoon, but I'm curious what it's going to entail.
Probably an orgy, I would imagine.
Like in the dome.
Well, I have no idea where they're gonna have their honeymoon at.
Yeah.
Why not? We can get. We'll put it in the calendar. We'll put it in the agenda, babe. We'll get.
You have plenty of time to get a passport. About 8 weeks.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. If you just wanted to buy everything, puppies, houses, Belize.
You want to buy Belize? If you buy Belize and make an anarchist society, I will be your first resident. You have to live like what?
What? Why?
That there's a lot of like bureaucracy in that show. Or no clothes, right?
Yeah, I'm a fan of no clothes. Okay.
We'll have trial by combat. All right.
So what are we gonna do for our honeymoon in Belize? You should talk into the microphone, babe. This is still on YouTube.
Lots of sex everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes. And I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping I can find some kind of underground sex club in Belize. I'm making contacts.
How are you making contacts with in Belize?
Not in Belize, but I might know someone who knows someone who knows someone in Belize.
Okay.
I'm a woman. I'm resourceful. So
I'm down for getting our kink
I
on.
want to see if there's something like that in Belize.
I'm sure there is. You just gotta know where to look.
Exactly. And the internet's a magical place if you know how to use it. So I'm gonna search.
You can find anything on the internet.
Yeah.
Rule 27.
Rule 27.
Is that what it's called? It's like whenever you say if you've thought of it, it's on the internet.
Yeah.
And that's I can't remember the exact number, but
if you thought of it, it's on it.
Yeah.
Oh, what if we get that house? Which room is going to be the dungeon?
I don't want to talk about getting the house because what if we don't get the house?
We'll still get it.
You're gonna get a house, though, and one of them is gonna have a dungeon. Is that right? That's awesome.
Can it be the basement? That's
I'm
a
thinking
nice
a basement. Yeah, it is actually a nice basement.
We can like put some carpet down there, like some chairs, like some sex swings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's finished.
I know.
Hang up some tapestries all around.
Yeah, see, if our sex room, I want it to be hippie-ish looking. I'm all fine with like the toys and everything around and whatnot, but I don't want it to look like a dungeon.
Oh, and we
dungeon.
can
I
have
want it
a
to be super
massage
hippie,
table.
trippy.
A happy ending massage table.
Happy ending,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh, LRN newbie 066 has an awesome question. Have you ever done it 10 times in a 24-hour period?
Yes.
I guess what would
10
constitute a single time? Does that mean like someone getting off?
Like me and Ann?
Well, this is just what is
the
asked in the chat.
The first night we met, we did it like
I think 4 times first time we met.
It was like 5 times.
I miss those days. We don't do as much because you don't usually keep up, babe.
First of all, when do we have that much time in our day? Thank you very much. It's not like I'm in college with nothing to do but have sex with you all day. I got a job to go to.
Oh gosh, and being on call. Oh my god, that has got to suck. Just like horrible. In the middle of it, just
yeah.
She went from her period then to being on call. It was like a month of just like
a month.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Maybe it was like 3 weeks, but no, she went from when she got off her period, then she went on call.
We had a brief moment in between that where we had sex like 3 times in one morning.
Yeah.
But I guess like what constitutes a time?
I don't know.
Like,
you have to like finish or no, you have to you have to do it till everyone's tired at least.
Newbie says it means orgasm.
Okay.
So does that mean for the
How
guy?
many orgasms? I've given you a lot in one night. I don't know if I've ever got to 9, but at least like 6. And welcome back to the Rebel Love Show. Before we left, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
I just
don't
remember
recall.
what we're talking about in the break.
I know the break conversation just took over. That's why if you should be watching us live and in the chat on the rebelloveshow.com. Wait, that's where the chat is, right?
Well, it's the LRN chat, but if you go to rebelloveshow.com, click on live, not only can you watch us live, but the LRN chat is embedded right underneath the video, so you can actually jump into the chats with all of our loyal listeners.
That's awesome. Do you really not remember what we were talking about? I feel like we were making progress, and then I just lost everything.
I know we went to say no to requests and feel all the emotions and whatnot. But the next one was really on the relationship Bill of Rights, is to set boundaries concerning your privacy needs. Make it clear that you will and will not tolerate and like what are deal breakers in regards to being poly and whatnot. Like for poly relationships, it's always definite to make sure that you do have boundaries that you don't want to cross and whatnot. That's where communication always comes into play.
I think privacy really needs to be highlighted in this, because this is very, very important.
Well, it's important on multiple issues. In regards to what we're talking about with non-aggression principle in the state, yes, but in regards to just simply like relationship issues, there's a lot of people that are not, publicly openly poly. Like that's a real privacy issue in regards to poly people. Some people are and some people aren't. That
Well,
needs to be
I think
communicated.
I mean, okay. Can I just say that sometimes I don't think it's a matter of being openly or not, because no one goes around and tells you they're. I don't feel like that's relevant or important for someone to be known as openly poly. Like, I don't feel like I have to out myself as poly. I hate that. I don't feel like people should have to out themselves as gay. Like, why the fuck is that anyone's business?
No, I hear you.
So I don't know. It just it like throws me off edge when it's like, oh, like I'm outing myself as poly. Like, you have a right to privacy. I think to me just means you have a right to to have your own things that you want in life, and to you have your phone. I don't go through your phone.
Yeah, I know. I love that about you, babe.
I don't have the interest to go through your phone. That's your personal private business. Like, I can log into your computer on accident. I won't go through your computer. I have no desire to go through your computer. That's your private personal business, and what you want to share with me, you will share with me. And that's just how I see it with everything.
Can I just say, I love the fact that you do that. Like, I've had huge issues with previous relationships where that was an issue, going through your other person's phone and seeing a message and stuff like that. The fact that like a message can pop up on my phone if you're even within eyesight of it, I can just say, "Oh, I'm talking to this person." Just like literally turn the phone over and show you. But like not having to worry about, not that I have anything to hide anyways. I tell you everything that's going on in my life as it is. But not having that knowledge that I don't have to worry about like literally every little thing that's like I touch, like you going through with a fine magnifying glass to find some sort of thing where I'm cheating or there's some bizarre, weird, twisted, mono problem issue that might be going on.
Okay, so I don't want to get this confused with yes, you have the right to privacy, but you do also need to be honest. And I think I don't want privacy to get confused with, not having to be fully honest because, of privacy. For instance, we were dating a girl who she was going on a date with a guy, and she didn't like reveal that information like up front.
Yeah, it was way too. It was like the day of, no, the night before.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like that was like coerced. Like it wasn't even just like, oh, this
Yeah,
is
she
what's
only
going on.
she only dropped it because we kind of brought it
Yeah.
up to
So
her. Yeah.
like on one hand, you know, she was like, well, I don't know how she felt, but basically it felt like, you know, you do have a right to privacy, but you know, if you're going on a date with someone, you might want to tell, you know, your partners, because that is a part of the relationship. They have the right to, you know, be told the truth.
Yeah.
You should be honest, you should be upfront, you should be open and always communicating all the time, even if it makes you uncomfortable. So I don't know. That's just immediately what I go to, like when I think, you know, you let someone know your privacy needs. You know, if you need alone time every Tuesday, Thursday night, like let them know, you know, this is me time. I'm doing me.
Well, yeah, just like how like this, like right now, like this was my time. Now this is our time. You know, we spend this for this show. You know, that's like in a relationship we get in, you know, after from this, like that, whoever we're with, like they're going to have to understand that, you know, this is like we do this. Like this is the thing that
Yeah.
has to
I
happen.
mean, I just hope that she'll be supportive and really interested and, you know, invested and involved in our lives. And that is very important to finding another partner. Okay, so and you know, if we're gonna talk about privacy needs and how the government
Oh yeah,
needs to
in regards to
like
government, you have no privacy.
you have no
They
privacy.
do. They have their own privacy.
Oh, they have so much privacy. There's so
You
much
can't know what
shit
they're
you
doing.
will not know. If you tried to look and figure out, you'd be shot.
Yeah, you don't have any basically any kind of way of.
Or you'd have to like leave the country and run away
But you can't,
and live in a
but
foreign
But you
country.
really can't leave. But that's you can, but it's
Well,
not
that's
easy.
what I'm saying.
That's a
I
whole
mean,
nother-
there was a guy who spilled some information, and look where he is now. Where is he? Russia?
Edward Snowden is in Russia still. Yeah, he's in Moscow.
And you know that's it, because
Yeah,
he was
tried to
saying
take away the
nothing is
privacy.
private.
Yeah.
He said nothing is private. They're watching you.
He literally,
So
he's a hero. He literally said exactly what's the government's doing, and the largest gang on the planet tried to kill him or kidnap him, and now he's living safely in Russia, but that's still temporary. They could still get him at any moment.
yeah.
You know, I do want to watch the documentary that it was Citizen 4 or something like that, where there's a documentary of him releasing that information, and it was created like while he was doing it.
Oh, really? Is
Yeah.
it pro him?
Oh yeah, I mean it follows him along, like him sitting with the Guardian like in Hong Kong and stuff like that, like just like his trip to Russia, like all the everything that happened.
That's cool.
Following in real time.
I'm also thinking, when I think about this, who was it? Ross
Ulbricht.
Yeah, I felt like he was a great example of how, you know, the government is like violating your natural rights.
Yeah, I mean, he literally created a website that allowed people to sell items that didn't use the U.S. dollar, they used Bitcoin, and it was encrypted, so you couldn't find out who the other people are selling these items. It's called the Silk Road, and
because they couldn't get their cut, basically, or I don't know their agenda, and that's the thing. I shouldn't have to live by trying to figure out what it is, because they're not my authority. They weren't placed on this earth to, you know, rule me. No.
Well, yeah, and that kind of leads to the next one on here is to set clear limits on the obligations you will make. So, you know, what will you contribute to a relationship? Not all standards you set for your partner and whatnot. So the way I take this is, you know, I'm already in a relationship with the government, which I don't even consent to being with to begin with. I don't, from my perspective, I don't have any obligation. But they disagree.
Okay, but do you have
I have an obligation to you?
Yes,
but it's a voluntary obligation. I'm doing
what
that,
what is your obligation to society? Maybe we'll see when we come back.
We will.
shit.
What got stolen?
My fire pit. It got stolen.
Bring it to...
I was gonna bring it to Hempfest so we could have a fire, but someone fucking stole it from my house.
Damn.
And
From your house?
yeah, I mean, because they obviously, here's the scary part. Somebody knows that I'm not living at my house right now, and I just said it to everybody on LRN. But good luck trying to find me.
Well, actually, this is just on the YouTube channel. This is
okay.
not going off over LRN.
Fair enough. But yeah, so I went to my house on Friday and it was there. And then I went on Saturday to do laundry and mow my lawn. And sure enough, it was gone. And so I looked around and I texted a few people. I was like, did you by chance borrow my fire pit? Nobody has. So I made sure to get all of my valuable stuff and bring it to my hotel, including all of my guns, because those are really the most valuable things that I have. I already have my laptop with me and backup hard drive. Anything else can be replaced. But man, that's kind of scary. I mean, someone could be out of my house right now, you know, lurking around in it. Nobody knows because you've seen it. Like, it's out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else is going to happen.
Well,
But-
everything's just a possession, but it does suck.
Yeah,
You
it does.
got most of the stuff that's in your house.
And I have my cats. That's the biggest part.
What?
That's correct, newbie.
What do you say?
He said this guy is not at his house. He said it to the entire world on YouTube. And he was just posting pictures of sexy pony nurses.
I'm not a brony.
I mean, yeah, it's different. I've never seen that, newbie. But yeah, interesting.
My vanilla latte sucked.
Yeah, I know. I tasted it. It was horrible.
I don't know why. Maybe their vanilla syrup is...
I don't know, babe. All right, what are we hitting with next? What
I
point?
really want some coffee.
Well,
we're gonna come back with your obligation to society.
oh, that's
My
right.
social contract.
Yeah.
I didn't sign a social contract.
Or did you?
You signed it by signing up for your tax form that you're forced to pay or forced to sign. I've actually heard that before. Whenever people are like, I've said I don't consent to taxes, and people actually say you consent whenever you sign your what is it, your W-2?
Yeah,
Whatever the hell
it's
it is.
my choice. If I don't sign it, it's just fine.
Right, and I'm like,
It's optional. It's voluntary. I raise my
Yeah.
hand and say, yes, tax me, please.
the sad thing is, there are a lot of people out there who are like,
Daniel.
I love getting taxed.
I know that's
That's
sad.
like, some people like being fisted too. I don't understand it, but hey.
Let's see.
And welcome back to the Rebel Love Show, and we're talking about my obligation to society.
Yes. Okay. Just so if you are just tuning in, where was I? Oh, to set clear limits on the obligations you will make. So what you will and will not, contribute to a relationship, and Rob says, he feels like he has no obligation, to the state, like in the relationship. They feel like you do. You don't have an obligation to listen to them or pay taxes to them. So do you feel like you have any obligation to society in general?
No, I don't.
No, okay.
I don't feel like I have an obligation to it. Don't get me wrong. I want society to be prosperous. I'm not saying that I don't believe that. I want society and humanity in general to be free and loving and prosperous and peaceful. I want all those things, and I do whatever I can to help achieve those things.
So you moving here, you could say, was you moved here and you did activism because you want to inspire other people to move. So that is like you have a purpose.
Well, I'm not saying I don't feel like I have a purpose. I definitely do. And I'm not saying I don't want
You just feel like it's not an obligation.
I'm just saying it's not an obligation. I'm not obligated to like help my fellow man or like,
So why do you do it if you don't feel obligated?
Why do I do it if I don't feel obligated?
Yeah, you don't feel like you're obligated to tell people, like, to promote like this idea of a free society.
I find that the way we live our lives as a way of promoting it more than anything else, it seems like, as of late. But I feel obligated to do it because I don't think I could really sleep at night. I couldn't look myself in the mirror not knowing if I'm not doing something.
So that's an obligation. You feel like
it's not.
obligated.
No, I don't feel like it's a. I mean, I can easily walk away and not feel like I'm obligated. Like I'm not.
Okay.
It's not like some sort of like contractual agreement that I've made to do this or to do that.
No, it's an obligation that you place upon yourself.
Yeah,
but
voluntarily.
It's voluntary. I think that's the big difference.
That is a huge difference. Like but I'm not saying that there is an absolute obligation that I have to do anything.
Yeah,
that's not the case at all.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like our obligations and our morals and our values are our own, and I think what we choose them to be. If you feel like if you feel like you can sleep at night without helping someone, and that's your obligation to do that, I just feel like you shouldn't be forced, and you should get to choose what values and what obligations you choose to place in a relationship. And I feel like the state doesn't let you do that. They don't give you any say in what you're pledging to this relationship. They're just telling you what you're going to do.
Well, and on top of that, like, you don't even have a choice into even starting the relationship because you're born into it with regards to the state.
Yeah.
At least in like, for this, for the whole relationship bill of rights is talking about entering and leaving a relationship. But in this situation, you never entered it to begin with because you're born into the system.
Yeah.
So
it's like you're flawed from the beginning, but I mean that's why it's really, if you prove it at the end, is the government isn't something you can just say I quit, I walk away from. You can't break up with the government.
Well, I mean that's one thing that's on here is to end a relationship, sever ties. Now that has happened, but it's really rare for people to sever ties with their current government. The people of this land 200 plus years ago did so via the Declaration of Independence and literally picked up arms against their oppressors and gained freedom, which didn't really do much because that kind of just literally just reset the clock, so to speak. And we're now in this just as 100-fold worse tyranny than the colonists ever had. But that's a whole nother conversation, to be perfectly honest. But I mean, you can sever ties with, just like how you can sever ties with a relationship, you can with the government, but it's almost nearly impossible to do it with the government. But
I mean, I think it's just collectively we all have to quit. It can't just be a few people. I mean, it can. We hope. I think that's all what the foundation is about. Like, even if we can just separate us and ourselves from the union. But I think it in the end, if we ever want to make this breakup official, everyone has to be on the same page. Like, this is not correct, this is not right. There has to be a better way. And I think that I feel like that's where it becomes an obligation, because if we really want to get to this better way, or we want to get to this freer society, we have to be doing things like this. We have to be promoting you know, that it could actually happen, and there's people who actually believe in it.
No, yeah, I absolutely believe what you're saying. I get that. It's just hard to do with that's the whole point. It's a state you can't do that with, unfortunately. We can get there. I'm hoping we can, but we need more people to believe it.
Maybe we shall see. The future is like an exciting thing to think about. Okay, so I think the next is to seek balance between what you give to the relationship and what is given back to you. So I mean, it's obvious the government is all a take relationship. You know those relationships where it's like me.
Yeah, but some people like those relationships. See, this is where
who really likes those
people who are doms
relationships?
and subs, people who are subs love being told what to do. All right, and that's why the government's perfect. The government's perfect for subs because the government's telling you what to do all the time.
Yes, but even a sub is voluntary, babe. She's voluntary. That is the difference between
I have said
being...
this before. I am not against there being governments as long as they're voluntary.
Okay, yes, but the point is government is not voluntary.
Well, yeah, the moment you remove the moment you make a government
so that's why it's not a dom sub, because let's not associate that with force.
Some people think though it is voluntary, you know.
Yeah, but it's not. So the government is not a good dom in that aspect.
The government is not a good dom. They will do not they will not recognize your safe word.
So I kind of want to jump in here, and I just wanted to state real quick that there is quite a difference between the government and the state, because the state is obviously a centralized organization that claims a monopoly, but a government could be as simple as just having a structure within a work company or something. A government is
well yeah, you can make
I get that.
I mean, yeah, you can make the argument that the state is more of the philosophical view of what binds a government. I mean, government, you can make the argument, is people and buildings.
Okay,
but why are those buildings and people there?
Yes.
And it is the relationship. It's the relationship that you have with those people.
Okay, so I guess yes, I understand that. We should use that. So I guess if we're looking at it from a kind of minarchist perspective, and we're saying there can be some kind of theoretical government, what kind would it be in the relationship?
In a minarchist world?
Yeah, but in a polyamorous minarchist world, like who's the head honcho?
Oh, I don't know. We'll find out next.
I mean, in minarchy, the president's still the head honcho.
So there still would be a centralized partner. We gotta talk about this on the show.
That's why, like,
okay,
anarchy is.
Well, I kind of can,
because this is called relationship anarchy, not relationship minarchy. So there has to be a difference.
Relationship minarchy would be polygamy.
Okay, we'll talk about it on the show. I need coffee.
What do you want me to do, babe? I got your coffee and you don't like it. I don't know why you got lucky.
It tastes like asshole.
It tastes like asshole?
Yes. Coffee tastes like asshole.
I'm sorry. We got 2 segments left. We still got to talk about your blog, babe.
Oh.
Shit, I keep forgetting to read that.
She goes into some personal details. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with us living like public lives. It's very anti-libertarian anarchist to do so.
Very anarcho-libertarian.
No, it's against it because so many people in this community are so privacy centric that to live very openly is a very different thing for people.
I don't know. There's a lot of polyamorous people within at least Manchester.
Well, that has nothing really to. There are a lot of poly people in Manchester. That's very true.
I'd have to say though, you'd have to actually come out and be openly polyamorous. Definitely does take some guts, and like to come out and be open about that is something else too.
Rob just tells everyone all the time.
I don't tell everyone that I'm poly, but I am openly poly.
If people ask you about it, you will let them know.
Yeah.
But it's not like
he just
you go
tells
out.
everyone anyway.
No, it's not like the first thing I say out the get-go.
Hi, I'm Rob Matthias.
Unless I'm talking to like a woman that I'm possibly going to go on a date with, I have a full disclosure before it. Well,
yeah.
In the dating, if I'm using a dating app, in the app, I literally say I'm poly. I have a partner. Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
If I ask someone out in person, like they also, I make sure that they know prior to. But if it's just a random person I'm talking to, or a coworker, or a friend, or something, well, a friend would obviously know. But if I meet someone, like, I'm not going to go on my way to tell them immediately that this is how it is. But if it comes up in conversation, yeah. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't.
So how did all your coworkers find out?
Well, the last of them found out when you and Amy walked in to give me lunch or coffee or stuff like that.
So you didn't say anything beforehand?
I did a little bit to a couple people, not everyone.
Nah, you're a bragger.
I'm a bragger, but how could I not brag about you?
Whatevs.
Are you upset that I brag about you?
What? Newbie says sometimes love sometimes tastes like asshole. And guess regarding your coffee.
And welcome back to the Rebel Love Show. Oh, now I can finally hear it. I don't remember where we left off. We're talking. I don't. Do you remember?
We're talking about minarchists.
Okay. So if in relationship minarchy, what's going on there? Because there is a clear difference.
Is there such thing as relationship minarchy?
Exactly, though. Because if that's the case, if we're talking about love and we're talking about the state, can there be minarchy?
I would say I would make the
like a minimum ruler in your relationship. No, the answer is no. There's no argument. No, there is no ruler. There can't be a minimum amount of someone being in control of you ever.
Well, I agree, unless of course, like the person wants that in their life. But I mean, in regards to relationships, like multiple relationships, I would.
That's like a relationship dictatorship. I don't know if it's like full control. If we're talking about full sub dom.
Yeah, no, there's definitely relationships out there that people have, unfortunately. In regards to like minarchy and poly, I would say polygamy is kind of like
how?
Because in polygamy you have like a central person. Like you have that husband that controls all the wives and all the children. Like that's like the head of the house, like of the clan, so to speak. Where in poly, it's like everyone's on an equal footing. Especially if you actually go delve down deep into the whole idea of relationship anarchy, and where it's pretty much everyone is their own ruler, and you're having voluntary associations of loving associations with people, but you can have as many as you want, or as little as you want.
So that means you technically polygamy violates the relationship bill of rights, because the next point on here is you have the right to decide how many partners you want. So everyone has a right to decide, even if that results in the ending of that relationship, if you came to me and said, hey, I want another partner, yes, that's your right to decide that you want another partner. It's also my right to decide, that I don't want to be in that relationship.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean,
so I think it works both ways. I think it's the freedom to come and go and leave as you please and add more with the communication of others, because you have to communicate that. I would like to add another partner. There can be no surprises with polyamory. You have to be upfront and open.
No, yeah, that's one thing I love about it. But same thing with this. Going back, like you don't have an option of all the partners in regards to the government is in regards to all the different agencies that will come down upon you for not following some sort of thing that you're told.
I had an interesting story. I had a friend back in college from Saudi Arabia, and we got into a conversation one day, because they have multiple marriages. That's still something that happens in Saudi Arabia. It's just kind of different now, I guess, in regards to consent and stuff like that. And it is, the husband has to ask the wife, well, he has to let her know, I want to marry someone else, and she can either be okay with that or she cannot be okay with that, and then that depends on if they stay together or get divorced. And he was saying, his father did have another wife, and the mom wasn't okay with that, and they kind of broke up their family.
Wow.
And I think that goes into it like deeply too, because it's you do have they have the right to decide how many partners they want, but in the end of the day, it's freedom either way. So they have the right to decide, I don't want to stay in this relationship with you if I can't have other partners. I'd love to stay with you too, but I want more partners, and that kind of broke up their family. But then there's another incident where the wife was like, yeah, I'd love for my husband to get another wife. Why not? It's another person to have his kids. We can have a bigger family.
That's why I'm so gung-ho about triad, babe. It's like, you add another adult into the situation. That makes having kids so much easier if there's another person in the relationship.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I'm all gung-ho for a triad, but even if you found another partner who was just your partner, and you guys really liked each other and we got along as friends, I'd be happy. Whatever. I prefer a triad. That'd be great.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and it's also less rent because we all share a room.
less rent. Scheduling issues are not a problem anymore because you don't have to worry about scheduling between you and the other person. It can be all at the same time. Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Makes
So
it easier.
I mean, I feel like that part shouldn't be a major factor. If everyone's communicating all the time, like no poly surprises, it shouldn't be one day you pop up and like, hey, this is my partner, Sheila.
Well, yeah, I would never do that to you. I mean,
met her at the grocery store. Like, no, that should never be happening. And I don't know, the government, they have no boundaries with us. They look at us as their property, but we're not.
No, we definitely are not. No, but it's a shame that they act as if we are.
And it's like your role with if the cops pull you over, I wish we could just be like, no, like, leave me alone. I do not want to talk to you today. Like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, you're like a stranger in a weird, kinky looking outfit pulling me over. Like, go away.
Yeah.
But we don't have the right to choose that. We don't have the right to refuse their service and say no, stop, don't. Like, and that is something that's very alarming. And I think if more people looked at it that way, we'd have an uprising on our hands.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, it's probably never going to happen. We would need more numbers for that.
What are our numbers anyway?
People that are awakened to what we're talking about. We're far and few between.
Yeah.
We're so niche.
Okay. So the next thing is to choose your own partners. And actually, what I found really funny and interesting about this was a poly story that I had heard. Where it was a poly couple, and one of the partners wanted
a quad. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I know exactly what story you're bringing up.
Yeah, one of the partners wanted to experiment. They were married. They wanted to experiment. They wanted to, try a 2 3. What is that called?
I guess a quad.
Quad. What? 4 people had sex. Okay.
Yeah, a foursome.
They liked it. It was great. And they wanted to make a relationship, but
which is beautiful, but that's super hard to try and pull off.
But apparently the wife wanted to have a boyfriend, and she wanted the husband to experiment with other women, but not to have a girlfriend. So she wanted a boyfriend, but she didn't want him to have a girlfriend.
That is so.
So that's where it got a little weird.
You can't have your cake and eat it too in that regards.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you're saying, you have the right to choose how many partners you want, then I should have the right to choose how many partners I want too. It shouldn't be just a one-way street. Everyone should have the right to choose, how or who, they want. Because if it's a girl or a guy, you should be your choice.
Beings, regardless of the sexual organs that are in or on us, we're still human beings.
In or on us, like in us,
or on us,
in us, like
female, male,
all in us. Okay, more than we come back.
That is the last segment. I'm hungry. What?
I'm so hungry. I threw up so much.
Yeah, she threw up a lot.
It's like the brownie?
Yeah, I don't know why it always makes me throw up.
Have you had Ashley's brownies?
Whose?
Ashley's.
No, I haven't.
They're really potent.
Chances are they have egg in them. So
that's right, you're vegan.
Yeah, I'm one of those weirdos.
There's something. Hey, I used to be vegan.
But every time I eat an edible, it makes me very nauseous, and I have to vomit.
Yeah, she does not do edibles well. She's vomited multiple times from edibles.
Yeah,
I've been probably the most high I've ever been was on some brownies.
Why? Chat, LRN chat. Can you tell me why I always vomit when I eat edibles? Please.
It's because the edibles have animal products in them, and
fuck off. I'm just gonna ask Google. This is the last segment, right?
Yeah.
When do we come back? 45 or 46?
46. Yes. What do you want to talk about? I mean, we still have this.
I always vomit when I eat marijuana edibles.
That's what you want to talk about?
But we have more topics.
Oh, I know. Retrieve courtesy. I definitely want to hit this one right here.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to finish.
Well, we need to hit that at one point.
I can't see that, actually. I don't know why. I can't see
to have a relationship with people, not with relationships.
I don't know why I can't see it. I think, are we both logged in as dish sirens or what?
Well, I'll bold it. I just bolded it.
Okay, maybe
I sound high right now?
You sound high?
That's what Newbie's saying. I don't know if I should say thanks. I'm extremely tired, but do I sound high?
No, you don't sound high. Oh, I'm tired. I did nothing today.
I'm a bit jealous.
Like nothing?
Yeah.
I did I did grocery shopping, but pretty much ate an edible. Laid in bed, had lunch with Ann, took a nap,
Mm.
picked up Ann, smoked up with her, laid in bed. Now we're on the show. That's
Nice.
pretty much been my day.
Newbie, for what it's worth, I wish I was high right now.
What?
Says he just kind of sounds high in general, in a good way. Thank you.
It says I overdosed on cannabis.
You can't overdose.
It says that you can overdose. It's not a fatal overdose, but overdosing is when it's the cannabis is there's too much cannabis in your system and your body is rejecting it.
Hmm.
Causing me to vomit. And it also, which I felt like passing out earlier. And they call it greening out. So,
Welcome back to the Rebel Love Show. We are at the bottom of the second hour here on LRN.FM, and we're gonna tie up our subject here with the Bill of Rights of Relationships and how it ties into the non-aggression principle.
oh, I just see the part you highlighted. You were just so far down.
Yeah, I know. Well, I kind of want to jump. I don't want to jump all the way to that, but this last segment, I do want to hit that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Wait, there was something else really good that I didn't want to miss. Oh yeah, Google Calendar is God.
Of course it is.
So I think it's to choose the level of time you invest and will offer to each partner. I mean, I guess I kind of look at this as going into the state. Like, I don't like going into government buildings. I don't like interacting with government officials. Like, I try to spend as least of my time being alive doing that. And I think that's one way, I get to choose how much time I give to them. But, in something like court or jail, they're stealing your time. They're constantly stealing your time without your consent.
Yeah, that's because, the empire doesn't require our consent.
That's
even though
great code.
We require each other's consent to be with each other. But that's not the case with the state.
Yeah. And, you go back into, you made a note there, how you're born into it. And we all are. We're born into it. And I think eventually we start to wise up and find our way out. I think eventually everyone will. I believe in you guys.
You have to have hope for humanity.
I do.
To wake out of.
Come on, humanity. Yeah. I expect more from you. Everyone who's going to vote for Donald Trump, though, and just going to vote in general, I'm just like, what are you doing? Stop.
Yeah, people talking to me like, oh, are you gonna vote for Bernie Sanders or blah blah blah? I'm like, what is that? Me voting has no relevance over what's gonna happen in my life, and I care less about voting for that person. I'm not gonna vote for anyone on the national level. Doesn't make any sense.
I'm voting for nobody. 2016.
I know you guys set that up as events. We're in New Hampshire.
I know. What, Daniel? I do want to ask you this, even though you just start chime in. Guess he should do this often. How would you feel about an activist event where we find out where they're going to do the rallies for Hillary and Donald or whatever, the sign waves, Rand. And we hold up signs across from him that says "Nobody for President 2016." Let the lesser evil is still evil.
I like that, and then we can have the Keeniacs ambush interviewing them right afterwards. It'd be like a 2-for-1 deal.
Oh, so I mean, if you're interested in that, I'd be down to set something up.
I think that would
Message
be pretty
me.
awesome. Yeah.
Really? Okay. Well, I definitely want to do that, and it'd be fun. We could all make signs, that have little sayings on them, and just that'd be so easy to do. Also, because they post these rallies, it'd be easy to find out where they're
we should make it hardcore
rallying.
and hand out like political flyers to people that have why you should vote nobody.
Yeah,
like how
oh, we
have,
should
like,
make a flyer. Okay, that's it.
Have it all like
That's
professionally.
it. We're setting up an
printed
event. We're setting up an event. If anyone in the chat would like to help, find out when there's the next rally or whatever going on, and we're gonna set something up. We're gonna do this shit.
All right.
These political people need to be trolled hard.
I do want to do some ambush stuff just because I feel unfortunately obligated to do it because we are living here and we have access to it so relatively easily. It'd just be a shame if we didn't do something.
I believe that Hillary Clinton has already come through New Hampshire.
A lot of them already come through New Hampshire, and they will for the next year and a half.
Oh, because of after the primaries happen, they're definitely going to be coming through New Hampshire because it's it's a purple state,
and it's like prime time. I don't they send out like we're doing a sine wave for this person. I don't know if I want to troll Rand. I've been on the fence about it.
Why are you on the fence about trolling Rand?
Okay, so this is why I'm on the fence about it. My, absolute brutalist side is just like fuck government and all it has to offer and anyone voting. My Students for Liberty side is like, I still want to go to those events and be welcomed. And a lot of those guys are Rand supporters.
Well, the way I see
they're very minarchists, and they really loved Ron Paul, and they're like, he's the next best thing.
There's a lot of Ron Paul people.
And what if Rand Paul is like a secret anarchist just waiting to like take off the cape?
I believe.
How many times have I heard that one?
That's true.
I believe Ron Paul to be that, but I don't believe his son is. Like his son literally says whatever he needs to do to get elected. Ron Paul never did that. He spoke his opinion when he's up on stage in like South Carolina in a presidential debate saying legalize heroin and gets an applause. Like that's the shit that he would do, and that's not something that Rand would ever do.
But he didn't win. Maybe he has to do what he has to do to get in office, and then Andre Rose said, fire everyone and then himself.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If Rand Paul comes out and says, "Hey, I'm just saying what I need to say so that I get elected to like destroy the government," then maybe I'll believe it. But I don't think that's the case.
Probably not. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it. Do you guys want to troll Rand Paul? I'm down if you guys are. I just feel like that in our circles, there are a lot of people who
I know piss off people.
Like, we get so much crap from a lot of the people within the FSV.
Yeah. Because there's like, I don't know. I feel like there's so many other people that we can spend better time trolling, like Donald Trump. And he's in my building for.
I know.
Say he's what?
The building that she works in is also the campaign staff for Trump.
For Donald Trump. It's great. It's like it's like Americans for Prosperity on one floor, and then Donald Trump on the next. And I'm like, this can't be right. Like,
I'm sure it's not because they shouldn't be even talking to each other. Most likely,
no,
they probably do. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows about these backroom deals? Anyway, so I think the next one is to be treated with courtesy. Oh my God. Well, I mean, I feel like you're a sweet babe. I'm lucky. You open doors and you always, you try to, you tell me everything and you talk to me about your feelings and you have a lot of courtesy. And I try to do that for you and we try to be sweet to each other. And I think that's very important in poly because I think you once made the point, you have to always be trying. It's not like normal relationships. Yeah, you have to always be putting in effort and showing that you care because if you don't, you lose it. I
mean, you can lose in mono, but at least in poly, there could always be other people in relationships. So you always have to show that you care. And how else are you going to do that once you don't actually do it?
Okay. Have you ever met a courteous cop?
No. Well,
a cop relatively.
I need some stories.
Broke one of their edicts. Well, we're actually probably hitting at the end here. Though one thing I did want to throw out there before we hit the end, is in this relationship. Bill writes is to have relationships with people, not with relationships. And the big point I want to put across is entire idea of the government, the state. All that is nothing but the relationship. It's just the idea of it. And when you're in a relationship that's abusive, you should leave it. And that's what the relationship is, the idea of that relationship that we're here right now.
And you know, you have relationships with people every day. You make new relationships with people. But the key word is people. You know, we get to choose who we interact with, and we get to choose who we don't interact with. And the state is not giving us a choice. And I think when our choice is taken away from us, that's when we want to rebel. And you know, that's what's happening. That's what's happening every day. That's what happens when we do activism. That's what happens when we wave signs around and say, you know, we don't want your service. So I mean, I feel like that's a great point to end it on. I know we wanted to mention my blog before we head off.
Yeah, a blog that you say that you will release on a weekly basis.
Yes, so my next blog is coming out.
You're a great writer, babe.
That's my middle finger to you. I'm
not trying to be mean. I'm just saying I hope to read more content.
Well, okay, my blog is called Sex, Drugs, and Anarchy. Well, the Tales of Sex, Drug, and Anarchy. I've already released one, which you can find on the rebelloveshow.com. And my next one will come out Friday. It's called Lipstick on a Pig. You shall like it.
It will be great. Hey, Daniel, where can people find you at?
Honestly, I don't have any kind of website yet.
Awesome.
I'll work on it.
All right, babe.
You can find me on seditioussirens.com.
And go check out rebelloveshow.com.
Peace.